Yep. So here we are today doing a circuit with Meredith. So the first thing we have going on here is single leg press. We have our foot high to activate more hamstrings and glutes. And she's outside of the distance of her hip. She's actually shoulder width. This gets a good blend of hamstring, adductor, and glute. If your foot is too far in line with the hip, you're really just going to work your quad. So make sure when you're doing single legs, if you want to get your glutes, you have your foot a little bit wider, about shoulder width. And that'll help you get a better activation of the glute. So on this, she's doing sets of 10s. Then we're going to move to single leg stiff leg deadlifts with dumbbells. And we have kettlebell swings coming up. And the point that we really wanted to drive home on this video was to make sure that you do a variety of rep ranges and time under tensions in your training. So she did sets of 10 and 10, like per leg on that. She's going to do 5 and 5, but twice through on this exercise. So you can see it's good balance on that front foot. Back foot tries to stay with the toe pointing to the ground to get a better stretch of the working glute. She has her back nice and neutral. The dumbbells are hanging down, so they're nice and comfortable in the grip. Everything's nice and controlled. So this furthers the tension into the hamstrings and glutes. So that's the idea of these two, or they're compounding. So they kind of add on to each other. And then the kettlebell swings kind of finishes it off. So this circuit is intentionally in this order, and it's intentional with these rep ranges. So we do kind of like a typical, on the leg press, typical kind of bodybuilding rep range of 10. However, on these stiff leg deadlifts, most people do these too light to really cause tension and damage to the hamstrings and glutes. The hamstrings and glutes are very dense, thick muscles. So doing your single leg stiff leg work, or even dual leg stiff leg work heavier, is going to have a huge benefit. So if you only ever do these for sets of, like, say, 15 to 20, you're really missing out on some big benefits of heavier weight with a little bit lower reps. If you're afraid of losing volume, you just do what we did. You do 2 sets back to back. Now she's going to do her kettlebell swings. This is actually done for 20 reps. So this furthers the cardiovascular stress of these two being back to back. This kind of makes a big cardiovascular stress, and then we would have a rest period. So this is how we're incorporating cardiovascular health and quote-unquote cardio into our training. And then this is actually just further compounding the hamstring and glute effect. So again, these are all layered for hamstrings and glutes. If you don't want to go too heavy on any individual movement for fear of safety concerns or just inability to produce heavy force, like strength force, just do a circuit like this where you do multiple movements in one go. So this is something we can definitely all do in our training, is to look to have a variety of rep ranges. Don't do everything in just one single range, like sets of 10 or sets of 20. Make sure you mix in. We have sets of 10s, 5s, and 20s. So do that in your own training. Keep the exercises you already have. Just start changing the weight loads and give yourself more of a challenge in a variety of rep ranges that you don't typically use.